to our One Greenway, One Iron chat. Delighted to be joined by Dame Laura Davies. Laura, welcome. Thank you for chatting to us.
No problem at all. Nice to be chatting.
Exactly. Now, listen, we are very excited about you coming over to Portugal for the One Greenway Invitational. How much are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, it should be great fun. You know, when I was asked to go, I didn't know much about it, if I'm honest, and looked into it and decided it fits in really nicely to get out and get a bit of sun, to be honest with you, apart from anything.
Yeah, it's not great weather, is it, in the UK right now?
No, I'm looking out the window, torrential rain. I just walked my dog and got absolutely soaked, so not great.
So listen, what have you heard about the event?
It's just good fun, good field, lovely hotel, great food. Haven't heard much about the golf course. I'm pretty sure I've played it though years ago. Would have been a long time ago. But most courses in Portugal are really nice. You know, usually very scenic, normally a bit hilly. Hopefully this one's not too hilly.
And what about, obviously, the field last year was superb. It's going to be a great field again. Obviously, Suzanne Pettersson, Annika Sorenstam, Lorena Ochoa, who I spoke to yesterday, actually, who retired way back. But she said she's still competitive when she gets the call up to do events like this. But how much are you looking forward to seeing some of your contemporaries?
Well, it's great. I was lucky enough to be invited out to Korea, and Annika and Lorena are in the same event. We did the Sayri Pack. So I hadn't seen Lorena for about 6-7 years. We reckoned it was about that long. So obviously it will be lovely to see her again, but also the Solheim Cup captain, Suzanne. She's always great fun to be around, and Beanie, of course. So yeah, there's a lot of players that I've played a lot of competitive golf against. And now, although this is going to be competitive, it's a bit more relaxed atmosphere, so it'll be really nice.
Yeah, you said you played in Portugal before. What kind of memories do you have of playing in the Algarve or Portugal?
Well, like I said, the food's always great. The golf courses are always beautifully manicured. I do remember them being hilly. I'll go back to hilly because that's one thing that the WPGA years ago. But always nice golf courses, and we were always looked after really well. So I only have fond memories of Portugal. I haven't played there for a very long time. So again, that was reasons why I thought it'd be nice to do this.
And how does it fit into your schedule then? When you look at what you've got sort of upcoming, how does Portugal slot in?
Slots in really well because I'm doing a lot more commentary now than actual playing. I'll have just come back from the DP World Tour. I'm doing the Abu Dhabi and Dubai tournaments, and then I think I get home on the Monday and then fly to Portugal on Thursday, and then I've got a couple of PGA Tour events commentating. So it fit nicely into that little gap between a bit of commentary. So it'd be nice to get the clubs out, and hopefully on that week, the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll probably go and play a couple of times, I think, because you want to be, as Arena said, you want to be competitive. You don't just want to turn up and use it as I don't care how I play, because we all care how we play.
What about the fact it's a mixed event? Obviously, I mentioned a couple of the star female names, but you look at the quality, some legends, obviously, of the game, and you look at some of the star names and the mixed element. How enticing was that as well?
Yeah, it's nice. Obviously, any time that the women's game is mentioned alongside the men's game, it's good for us. I've always said that it's nice that some of these mixed events that we have around the world, and it's nice to play in something in Portugal. And obviously seeing the guys play, it's a different game they play. It obviously a lot further than us. It is the same game but on a different power level, really. So I just enjoy the aspect of getting out there and playing amongst the guys, and you're not trying to prove anything, but if you play well, hopefully you do well.
Absolutely. Just coming back to the point you mentioned, obviously we work together at Sky Sports. How much are you enjoying the TV side of things now, and how will you try and combine that with your playing schedule?
Yeah, well, I'm doing a fair few this year commentating, so I've put myself a nice little 10 tournament schedule based around the commentary. It was something I wanted to do. I wanted to become a commentator that still plays golf rather than a golfer that does a bit of commentating. So I've kind of shifted in the last 18 months to that. But when I turn up to play, like I just went down to Australia, played in the Aussie Open, actually played pretty nicely, finished 22nd. Doesn't sound great, but you still know if you put, I went and practiced a bit in Australia for a couple of weeks before the actual tournament. So you still know if you put the work in, you can still at my age get some decent results out there. So that's what I plan to do. I plan to play tournaments where I could have played a couple of weeks before I get out there, because I tried going into a couple of tournaments last year cold, having not played for ages, and it just doesn't.
So 10 events really is what you're looking at playing wise for this year?
Yeah, probably about 7 LPGA events, and then probably 3 LET events. And then we'll probably maybe a couple more because I've played obviously a couple of seniors events as well. So yeah, it's just a really nice busy schedule, and you know it's difficult to get the exact tournaments you want because obviously the commentary takes the priority now.
Yeah. So tell me about the commentary. Obviously, we've worked together a lot in studio and on location. We've done these sort of ALG Women's Open together, and obviously US Women's Open in studio, and other events, Masters, Ryder Cup. What is it about the TV that you enjoy? Apart from working with Stirk, of course.
Well, that's the thing, working with while, but it really is gone from that, spending a lot of time with all my friends on the tour, to now new friends in the commentary world, and it's the same sort of atmosphere. Although we're not playing, we're all doing the same thing, and we're all going for one goal, and that's basically what you do is playing tournaments. You can't obviously always win when you're playing, but you've always got that camaraderie, and that's the way I feel about, you know, the team I've been working with at Sky, and I really enjoy it, and they're all good fun. Apart from you, they're really good fun, most of them. And kind of ending my career of the thing I know best, which is travelling and working on golf, whether be it playing or now commentating.
So what's the appetite there? What's the hunger and the motivation to still keep playing? Because obviously you're definitely not, you know, hanging up your spikes. You still want to play, but mentally where are you with that kind of competitive edge?
I think I enjoy it now. I enjoy, although I get a bit nervous, I have to say. I'm more nervous now because you feel like, oh, am I taking someone's spot? But, you know, I've earned my spot, basically, so I don't feel bad about that. But I then don't want to turn up and be missing every cut. I want to try and do quite well. So that's the motivation. And I still think I can have decent finishes. I don't think I'll ever win a LET or LPGA tournament again, but I've accepted that. I mean, you know, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, you know, you never know, I might putt really well one week. So there's always that in the back of your mind that you've still got some game. And certainly the way I played in Australia, I was really surprised how well I did hit it. I suppose that's why I still do it. And because of my Hall of Fame, World Golf Hall of Fame status, I'm allowed to play in those tournaments. And like I said, I don't feel bad about possibly taking whoever's first reserve might think, why is that old bag playing? But you know, that's just the way it is. And you know, I will enjoy those 10 events I do play in on the LPGA and LET.
Listen, 87 I think it's 87. I always say this to you, I always lose count. It is 87 worldwide wins. You've earned your spot there, no question about that. But if you were just commentating or just doing the TV, you couldn't do that yet, could you? There's still that edge there that you want to compete.
Without a doubt, and I really enjoy it, and it's nice seeing all the players, the younger players now, that are the great stars of the game now. It's nice standing on the range with them. It's nice playing, being paired, because I still get, as an A-listed player, I still get really nice pairings, and you're out there with the top guns of the modern day game, and I just really enjoy it. And like I said, if I'm there, I used to turn up on a Thursday thinking, right, what have I got to do to win it? Now I think I want to make the cut, and anything after that is pretty decent. And I think anyone that gets on a bit and the nerve ending's afraid of it, you have to lower your expectations. And I suppose that's all I've really done, but it's still fun. I still stand on the range as good as most of these girls. There's one thing being great on the range, and there's another thing being able to transfer that onto the course and scoring, because when you're only playing 10, I used to play upwards of 33 tournaments a year, and you just get used to scoring. So I've lost that element, the natural way of, you know, I can turn a 70 into a 78, whereas I used to turn a 70 into a 68. You know, it's just that scoring thing you lose as you don't play quite so much tournament golf.
I mentioned the success you've had, the 87 wins, the LPGA Tour success, the LET, the Solheim Cups. If you could pick out the top 3 of your proudest achievements in your playing career, what would they be?
Well, I think number one's working with Stirky in the studio. That has to be
the pinnacle. The pinnacle.
If you're talking purely golf, then the US Open, obviously I won that when I wasn't a member of the LPGA, and it got me on the tour. And I won pretty quickly after that, which kind of backed up the fact that it wasn't a one-hit wonder. So that established me in America. I think winning 4 tournaments on the trot, when I won the Phoenix tournament 4 straight years, was the first time a woman had ever done that. I think Jean Saracen, or so a couple of guys had done it. So that was a nice thing. And all the time we won. I think I won 4, lost 8 or 9 8 in the 12 I played, but those 4 wins were quite something. So I think the Solheim wins has to be right up there.
Absolutely. When we look at this year, then obviously you've talked a bit about your schedule. I want to get your take on the women's game where it's at right now, you've got to sort of look at the LPGA tour now, and obviously the LET have got the strategic alliance, and the Aramco series has been great for the women's game. But how healthy do you think it is now? How encouraged are you by what you see at the top of the women's game at the minute?
Yeah, I think if you go purely LPGA to start out with, it's unbelievable the way the tour's gone from strength to strength. The prize money is going through the roof, mainly in the majors. I think that the normal, I'm going to call them run-of-the-mill events, but the normal tour venues, their purses are around about the 2.5 million on average mark, which is absolutely great. I mean, my God, would have thought that was amazing 20 years ago to be playing for that. But it's those ones at the top end of it, 10 million US Opens and 9 million KPMGs. And it's not always about the money, but it just means it seems bigger when the prize money is at level, and that's all they talk about in the men's game now. So I don't see why we shouldn't talk about it in the women's game. And it's great. And as for the LET, number of tournaments, the schedule they put out this year it's fantastic. I just wish, if I could have a wish, it would be that the smaller events had bigger prize money, because they have actually, I did have a look through it, and it seems like 300 is kind of the minimum now, which is really good, and it's moving in the right direction. But the big thing is obviously we've got all those big prize money events, and because at the end of the day in professional sport you have to earn the money, and in the women's game you don't get the huge contracts off the course necessarily, so your prize money is a huge part of it. So LET is going really well, and hopefully it'll go from strength to strength.
You obviously know, I thought it was interesting, I think I talked to Lorena about this, the QBE shootout before Christmas. Nelly Corder and Lexi Thompson were playing in that, and obviously that will be a straight mixed event this year, end of this year, which is fantastic, and I think that really elevates that and gives massive kudos to the women's game. But a lot of the guys were waxing lyrical, weren't they, about Nelly Corder's swing? A lot of them wouldn't have seen her hit before or swing the golf club. How much of a standout player do you think she can be in 23?
Yeah, well, I think she was on her way to establishing herself with quite a big lead in the world number one spot when she, obviously the start of last year as it is now, had that injury on her upper arm, and that's put her back a bit. But having said that, although she's not won prolifically since she's been back, her game looks really good. So yeah, I think Nelly re-established it, because the year before, I mean, she won all the majors, she won the gold medal at the Olympics, she had an unbelievable, and looked like she was going to be the one that, because at the moment in the women's game you've got so many really good players, they shuffle about. I think Lydia Ko might be number one at the moment, and it seems to shuffle up and down. But of all the players, I think Nelly could be the one that gets ahead of the rest of them and establishes herself as the number one player by quite a bit. Well, only time will tell, but she's definitely got the game.
And obviously Lynn Grant's been standout on the LET. What have you made of her performances, and would you pick anyone else, any of the other female players, to really make a move this year?
Yeah, I mean, Lynn's been great, but the one that really impresses me is Maya Stark. I think she's a fantastic player. Like I said, Lynn is. There's a few others that are, but Maya, she just seems to be. She has that little X factor, and I think she could really become a really good LPGA regular top 10 finisher, which ultimately will result in quite a few wins, because that's what happens if you're never in the top 10, you're not necessarily going to win all that often. But she's the one for me that could be up there week in, week out and start getting regular 2-3 wins a season, so she'd be my pick.
We also looked this year at the scheduling, Laura, back to back with the Solheim and the Ryder Cup. I really like that. I think, given COVID, things have changed a little bit. Do you think that adds to both, but particularly gives a bit of a bolster to the Solheim Cup this year?
Yeah, I think the golfing public, the golfing fans love a bit of match play, and the fact that they can have the to be honest, I'm not sure. Is it Ryder Cup first, isn't it? Ryder Cup, then Solheim. Yeah. So they'll get that, and then at the end of a big tournament like that, and especially the Ryder Cup, you want a bit more, and then the Solheim's right there on its heels, and obviously the two events are my two favourite events in the sporting calendar. I used to love playing in it. I've loved being a vice captain in it, and Ryder Cup, obviously commentating on it on the last few years. And the atmosphere at both, it's a lot bigger at the Ryder Cup as in volume of people, but the atmosphere is no different whatsoever. It's just that patriotic. The gallery wants it, the players want it. It's just a really great week, and I think to have it back to back is great. Having said that, next year we're moving off that, so it'll go back to, we're doing it in 24, and the Ryder Cup will wait till 25, so we'll be off it. So this is the last chance to have it back to back.
What about the chances?
So I think we should really enjoy it.
Sorry, Laura, just missed. Yeah, just cut out there. What about the chances for the Europeans?
Yeah.
Let's start Ryder Cup first of all. I think you look at that US side; they are incredibly strong. But I think the European performances over the last 6 months have given us an awful lot of encouragement. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think what happened obviously in Wisconsin last year, 2 years ago, was so one-sided. I think it was a shock to everybody. The weird thing that's happened now, obviously because of Live Golf, the American team is losing some of its marquee players. But the trouble is with that, you've got all these youngsters that haven't done it before, but they're, people say the pressure years ago, it used to be pressure. Now they're so used to pressure that they'll come into Ryder Cups. And I do think the American team, again, will be massive favourites in the Ryder Cup. And it's just whether our young fellas can do the same thing, because we've got some really great young players that are coming through, and they've been winning tournaments this year. The twins, I mean, they're amazing. The two of them hopefully will both be in the team. But I still think the Americans will be the favourites. Whether we can turn it over, whether we can change such a huge deficit round, and we'll have lost all of our 80% of our stalwarts, like the Westwoods, the Poulters, Garcia. They've all gone now. They've changed their direction in their careers, and they won't be there to hold the team up to be the ones that you look to. So whether the young Europeans can do it, we'll just have to wait and see. But that's why it's a great watch.
Absolutely. And what about Solheim? I think the camaraderie within the European side is exceptional. We've seen that the last couple of editions. How tight do you see that as a matchup?
Yeah, it's the last two, like you said, they've been really, really tight. And I think this one will be very similar. And the Americans could have won the last two quite easily. We just nicked it both times. Home soil. The golf course itself isn't going to allow for massive galleries, I don't think. So it's going to be a lot the teams up to themselves to make the team spirit there. It's the most magnificent venue you've ever seen. I've been out there, obviously, and seen it. And it's a course which suits both teams. I think it's quite wide open. It's pretty hilly. I think it's a very tough course. Depends how they set it up. It could be pars of pretty good scores on some of those holes on the front nine going out to the turn. And the American team will always be strong. But if I had to give a little favourite, I think home advantage, I'll just give it to us.
You've loved being a vice captain, haven't you? Or chief cheerleader and head of bananas, as I like to call you. Why are you in love? As a player, you had phenomenal success, and I know sometimes as a VC or a captain, more so a VC, it's hard not to be in the thick of it competing. But what has been a vice captain? What's that meant for you?
It's been fun. I mean, Beanie asked me, obviously, the first one in Scotland, and really enjoyed that. What a finish. And then obviously again, and I was quite surprised when Suzanne rang me up, would I want to do it again? And the answer immediately was yes, because it is great fun. I mean, the captain, all you're there to do really is not agree with the captain, as it is Suzanne this time, Beanie before, but, just make their decisions feel confident, because they make good decisions. I mean, a couple of times you might have said something to Beanie, just or maybe try something, but overall, you're there just as a support for the captain. And obviously, if the players need bananas or a towel walked out 500 yards to a hole, because, for 53 weeks a year, they can get that towel in their room and stuff like that. It's something that's fun. I mean, they all the youngsters take the mickey out of me. George is always sending me pictures of bananas saying, have you got stocks up for Spain? So it's a fun, you get to have the fun without all the pressure of being the actual leader, which obviously will be Suzanne this time, and I'm just looking forward to it. Will
it ever be you, Dame?
No.
Will it ever be you leading the European Solheim Cup team? Can we get an exclusive out of you today?
No, it's never been England. Maybe never played in England, you never know, but it'll never be in England for whatever reason, and unfortunately, so there you go.
So at the moment you're adamant you're not going to be a captain?
No, I'm really not that interested in doing it. Love doing the vice captain, love doing the commentary on it, which I've done in the ones where I wasn't either playing or vice captaining, and just love the event. But yeah, that captain's role is something that's just never interested me whatsoever. And if you're not up for it, then you're not doing a good service to the team. You have to be 100%. And all the captains we've had have always been so up for it. So let the ones that really want to do it, do it.
What sort of captain will Suzanne be?
I think she'll be. A few of the younger ones will be a bit scared of her. I'm scared of her, and I'm 30-something years. So one of those people. She seems a bit ferocious, but she's not. She's like a big teddy bear, really. But she sets very high standards. And the good thing about her is she's recently done it. She obviously won the one in Glen Eagles for us. So all the players, they all have respect for her. But now they'll have more respect because they've seen she could do it under the ultimate pressure. So when she talks, they'll listen. I think she'll be a really fun captain. I think she's probably got a few nice surprises, hopefully, for them for the week, and just to keep them relaxed. And as I said, the venue is spectacular. I mean, the European team room, which I saw 6 months or so ago, it's just beautiful. The whole thing. The players are going to love it, and they've got a really good captain to look up to.
To try and let you go, look, we obviously work together. I know you're a keen baker. You often bring treats into the studio with us at Sky Sports, which always goes down very well. You're a big Liverpool fan. Just tell our viewers a bit about you as a person, as a human. Some of your hobbies, some of your loves in life.
Well, I think you said, the biggest one is my dog Murphy. Like I said, I just took him for a walk in the rain because he doesn't care about the weather. I do, but he doesn't. So yeah, I'm always worried. Wherever I'm in the world, I'm always FaceTiming him. He doesn't talk much, but I get to see him. I do, as you said, I love cooking. I love making the house nice. We just had all the stuff done. I like getting it back in order. Just normal things, really. Go out to the local club in Ottershaw and the pub and with my friends in the evenings now and again. Not a lot, but just normal things, really. And love watching sport. That's my biggest hobby, is watching live sport. I've just been watching the Big Bash, so luckily it finished just before we did this.
Oh, well, that's good timing, David. Good timing. Listen, it's been a pleasure as always. Thank you. And yeah, it'll be great to see you. Laura Davies, thank you very much for joining us on our One Green Wake, One Iron chat. Thank you.
Thank you very much.